My name is Kamra Devi Dasi, and this is part 6 of my autobiographical video series. The demons, in the garb of devotees, used their gifts of erudite scholarship, proclivity in the Sanskrit language, empowered speech, and mundane charisma to purposely hide Srila Prabhupada from the world, to mask his mood and his teachings, to actually make the practice of Krishna consciousness seem harsh, impersonal, daunting, and unpalatable, to either turn people away from the real thing or to lull them into a mere shadow of the brilliance of the real connection to our glorious previous acharyas. Our dear Srila Prabhupada was surrounded by these hideous creatures, yet he persevered for the sake of his innocent followers. Yes, hideous creatures is the correct wording. It may sound strong, but it's not strong enough. The evil in which they participated, and may still be participating, and with whom they are participating, is beyond the scope of belief of most normal humans. Even to become aware of a fraction of it could easily induce spontaneous vomiting. I know. I've seen the belly of the beast. So much has been watered down, so much has been veiled. The story of the lady who caught her husband in bed with their so-called spiritual master. The woman who jokes that at least her guru will never fall down with a woman. The lady who did the transcription from the audio tapes of one of the original softcover books and then found that it was printed very much changed from the recording, and who was then thrown out of the temple for questioning the leadership about the editing. The lady who was thrown out of her temple for reporting that young girls were being brought into the GBC meetings to serve the organizational leaders. The people in leadership positions in the organization who were informed of certain goings-on and would rather support the ruling elite of the organization than to look at what happened or what has been happening. Maybe their social security and their retirement and peer support are at risk. They are implicated by their compliance. Who knows? What a disgusting laughingstock. This is not what Srila Prabhupada gave us. How can an honestly seeking person be attracted? People will be attracted to the absolute truth, and they will have to be courageous and insightful. They'll have to be insightful enough to separate the truth from the organization. Devotees may say that ISKCON, the organization, is Srila Prabhupada's body, so can't we all just get along or whatever? But sometimes a body gets so diseased that the soul must depart. Unfortunately, this is the situation. The so-called leaders use their positions to disempower everyone else, to stifle creative outreach, to make other devotees feel less than, subservient, unsure of themselves. They destroy the individual spirit. They destroy the collective spirit, the individual and collective empowerment in the propagation of real religion. Therefore, they created false religion, a society of the haves or have-nots, which means poverty consciousness. They destroyed it all. The inner spirit, the preaching mission, the potency, they destroyed it. Everyone's self-flagellating with the philosophy. Nothing can get anywhere. Sweetness gone, sad faces, and they laugh at their success. What I just said might seem like a summary study, and it is. I'll go into some things more deeply and how I was personally affected. On the superficial level, which some of our listeners have noted and even criticized, I've had to gradually regain my own confidence in Vaishnava attire. Srila Prabhupada wanted the women to dress chastely. I was not with him in the very early days, but he suggested nice dresses for the women, or even saris, and the early ladies very enthusiastically adopted the saris. For me, over the years, wearing a sari and tilak became very painful. They were associated with being stifled, minimized, demeaned, and even tortured and abused. There were also women involved in the demonic takeover of the organization, nicely dressed in saris and tilak, and I became very averse to being associated with that style of dress. I'd given away the most of my saris and couldn't even wear tilak for the introductory series, the first 8 introductory video series that we did for purelyprabhupada.com. I cringed to be identified as a Hare Krishna, but I wouldn't take off my Tulsi neck beads. And I had to let people know who questioned, was I a devotee, that I was an independent contractor. However, I later decided to reclaim my legacy as Srila Prabhupada's daughter and dress as he desired for the sake of representing him nicely. I reclaimed it for the sake of pushing on what he so kindly gave to us, and I can now wear it proudly and with confidence. I reclaimed it for those who are devotees, not to be the disposable doormat for the cheaters in devotional attire who do not have the well-being of the devotees or the well-being of the preaching mission as any sort of priority. The really scary thing is that the evildoers think they're doing the right thing, and they see me as some sort of enemy of the state. They understand what they're doing, and there is no witness, there is no conscience on their part. The difference between the real demons and those who act as demons because of demonic influence, by my observation, is that the actual demons have no conscience, no ability to witness their own behavior, no sense that what they're doing is wrong and destructive. There's a sense on their part of raw power, a striving for even more power, no matter what the cost, a sense of immortality almost, and to the core, they feel that they're right and unconquerable. A person who's innocent by nature but badly influenced will have a sense that what they're doing isn't really right. But what the demonic influencers don't understand is that the organization and the pure spiritual essence upon which it was originally founded are not the same. They're unable to understand that there really is a pure spiritual essence, as all they can see is materialistic power, which they insatiably crave. They see the success of the organization as the all in all, but it's lost its very heart. Therefore, the organization has not only become a useless shell, but it's become its own worst enemy in what it originally set out to do.